Okay. Bring this meeting to order. Obviously, we have two presentations. We have one from the annual report from Kenneth Waldrop tomorrow and an update on the shelter strategy. Consent agenda, C1 is the approval of the minutes. C2 is a resolution amending the established 2026 schedule of council meetings. C3 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement to purchase firefighting gear from North America Fire Equipment Company Incorporated of Decatur, Alabama for $92,117. C4 is a resolution establishing the City of Wilmington Housing Affordability Advisory Committee and bylaws. C5 is a resolution authorizing the award of a supplemental contract to WSP USA Incorporated in the amount of $384,602 for professional engineering services for Phase 1 design of the downtown trail. And I do have a question, and I know, Tom, you're out there. I thought this thing was further along than the Phase 1. I thought that we had, yeah, Abby's here. Abby, can you kind of give us an update as to where we are? I thought that the design on this thing was...
Yeah, so good morning. Thank
morning.
you, Mr. Mayor. So the project currently, the design plans stand. We are expecting 60% design plans at the end of February. This supplemental contract is for 60% through 100% of the design. After 2.5 years of coordination with our railroad partners, there were some additional design elements identified that had not been originally scoped. So the remaining money has been used to get us to 60%, and then this supplemental contract will get us through to 100% design, which is anticipated by the end of this year.
By the end of this year? Mm-hmm. Okay, and then I know it all comes down to being able to allocate money to do this, to do it, whether we do it in phases or we do it all at one time. Would we then go out and kind of start the bidding process just to kind of get an idea? Or would this design stay in place for...
So this will get us to 100% design plans. The next steps will be determining a funding source for right-of-way, utilities, and construction.
But once that design is set, we don't have to go back out and design it again.
Right, correct. We'll be at 100% design.
Okay, and then we can keep that design in place until we find monies at some point in time, whether it be in a year, 5 years, or whatever the case may be?
Basically, pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much, okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you, Abby.
Thank you.
Okay, C6 is a resolution to exchange roadway responsibilities with the North Carolina Department of Transportation. Then we have public information, public hearings. PH1 is an ordinance amending the Land Development Code, Chapter 18, to modify dimensional and building orientation standards within the R3 medium high-density mixed residential zoning districts. Then O1 is an ordinance making supplemental appropriations in the amount of $4,071,670 from the sale of surplus property to fund leaseback costs and pay debt services on the Skyline Center. And then item 2A is a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a supplemental agreement with NCDOT to receive additional funding for the milling and resurfacing of Dawson Street and Wooster Street from 3rd Street to 17th Street. And then O2B is the ordinance making these supplemental appropriations in the amount of $254,000 from NCDOT to the Streets and Sidewalks Capital Projects Fund for the milling and resurfacing of Dawson Street and Wooster Street from 3rd Street to 17th Street. And then resolutions, R1 is a resolution to support the North Carolina Department of Transportation South 16th Street lane reduction from Castle through Queen Street. And then R2 is a resolution, yes, sir, I'm sorry, Mayor Pro Tem.
I had a question about R1. Yeah, Dennis. How did this come about to just, how did it come about?
We've gotten a lot of requests from residents in the area and the business owners in that area about feeling uncomfortable crossing 16th Street in the vicinity of Queen Street primarily. There's 3 travel lanes there now, and it's very heavily traveled in the peak hours. So the thought was to implement the curb extensions that we've been doing around town to reduce the number of travel lanes, reduce the ped crossing distance, just to make it safer in general for the area.
Right, but I mean, when you look at it, and like you said, that 16th and 17th Street have had 3 lanes that's far back as I can remember. And I mean, just how do we get the public on board with going from flying 3 lanes to once you get to Queen and then Castle, which I mean, you have to slow down before you get to Queen, just merging into 2 lanes.
Well,
Right.
currently 16th Street all the way from Grace Street is 2 lanes until you get to Queen Street. At Queen Street is when it widens out, or when you get to Castle, it widens out. So we're extending the 2-lane section just by 1 more block. We're removing,
So coming,
Yep. Southbound.
going towards the hospital.
correct.
Right, okay. But
So we're
going,
yeah.
yeah, I got you
So
now.
17th Street's not changing at all. It's going to be 3 lanes. A single lane will drop on Wooster as it does now, and then 17th becomes 2 lanes north of Wooster. So nothing's changing on 17th Street, just 16th Street's being reduced for 1 block.
Okay, so how have we gone about disseminating this information? It's dependent upon us, but have we checked the pulse of others in the community about that?
It's a DOT project. They asked for concurrence from the city to support this pedestrian. Essentially, it's a pedestrian safety project in the area.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And then R2, which is the last item, which is the resolution opposing Independence Boulevard extension. Just want to ask a question. I know that we've been talking about this thing for, my God, 10 years, 8 years. Is this finally putting it to bed once and for all?
So, good morning, Mayor Pro Tem, members of council. So at this point, the state has issued a draft environmental impact statement for the project. So this resolution would be providing comments to them opposing continuing on further with the project. How the state responds to that, I cannot tell you. But this is something that if we believe the city taking this step to make this resolution and put it forward to say that the city is not in favor of this project moving forward is a statement they will have to take into account and address before they issue a final environmental impact statement.
Good. All right, thank you.
Wait, Linda, isn't the comment section for submittal to NCDOT about this project, does that close today?
No, I believe it closes mid-January. So if you do approve the resolution tomorrow night, we will then submit that resolution to the state DOT.
Okay, thank you.
Linda, and this is maybe more for the Mayor Pro Tem, in respect to extending or 4-laning from the railroad track there on Independence to Market Street. That's where it bottlenecks right now, where it kind of stops there. Has there been any discussion with the NCDOT about 4-laning that? Or adding 2 more lanes to that road?
So they had a lot of options, like several options as to what they would do. And there was impact from pretty much Independence all the way to MLK, but there was less of an impact where you're talking about as far as families losing their homes and things of that nature. But I didn't look at every option that they had at that
Because that seems
community
to be,
meeting.
that seems to be at Independence where it kind of bottlenecks when you get over the railroad track, and it reduces down to 2 lanes. And you got a tremendous amount of traffic going up to Market, making either a left or making a right.
Right.
And that to me, it seems like to be the most logical step is if you're going to make any improvements, that would be the section there because there's more businesses there than anything.
But then also, you would have to look at some of the items that we've passed last year as far as development that'll take place there too. So it's kind of,
Townhouse, yeah.
on both sides of the
Yeah,
road.
okay. All right, thank you. Okay, anybody else? All right. City Manager, Ms. Hall?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, members of council. We do not have any presentations this morning, and so we are concluded with the agenda briefing.
Okay. And I do know that we have a committee meeting right after this meeting, so if there's nothing else, then we're going to stand adjourned. Okay, with that, we stand adjourned.